Hey guys, Corey here. Today I wanted to show you an example of kind of an unusual Falcon, just to really kind of show you that no two Falcons need to be the same. They certainly shouldn't be the same. They should all be tailored a little bit differently, just depending on the base. Sometimes I've done Falcons with no back-end troops at all. If I have clear pathing through the 90% of the base, I just load up on more Valks and more bowlers and rage them through and smash it. But most of the time, you're going to want some sort of back-end troop. Now, a lot of times, by default, that's hogs. But honestly, a lot of times I like using loons with a haste as well. Most of these CCs, especially if you're getting your queen in there, you really only need one poison, and that gives you another spell that you can play with. Usually if you're going ground troops, it's going to be a skeleton spell. A lot of times it's used to distract an inferno or just distract some defenses on the back end to help you finish the 3-star, like you'll see on this one. So on this base right here, I had to hit it fresh, so I didn't really have any scouts, but I noticed right away that we had some dead space right by the Inferno Towers. If you look right behind this gold mine and this elixir storage here, you see that dead space right there. And that's excellent when you can find that and take advantage of it for an entry for Falcon, or funneling for a number of other attacks too. So I knew that I needed to get rid of this gold mine and this cannon, which I figured I could do pretty easily with a baby dragon, because there's really only this archer tower that's going to target him from the air. This expo's set to ground. So I figured a baby dragon could take care of this and this as long as there was no seeking air mines. I was lucky there wasn't. And then over here, by these 4 defenses, I was originally looking at using 2 baby dragons. Of course, one at a time, let them die first, and then use so that it could use the rage ability. But I really didn't like the amount of troop space that was going to have to use, so I decided to use my king and 1 wizard to funnel over on this side. And then I always look for corner huts because I want to plan for each one. On these 3 over here, it's going to be 1 archer each. On this bottom one here, I figured I could start my queen off to the left of it, and then she would go down and target this dark elixir storage and this elixir storage. Alright, and then I figured I could start my Valks right over here on this one, and I would put my healers on them right away, because if you'll look, there's no air defenses anywhere near this area where I'm entering. So I can lock the healers straight onto my Valks, There's no queen knock necessary, and you really only need 4 spells to get your core troops through base. So your 5th spell is usually going to be used as a rage on your queen walk to keep her alive and keep her ability intact. But it just depends on the base. I obviously didn't need a queen walk right here for this really small entry, so I decided to bring an extra heal instead and some back end hogs. So I always look at the base where the Valks are going to path through, and you can pretty well establish they're going to go through this core right between these Inferno Towers, and then they're probably going to head off to one side or the other because that's what they like to do. So what that's going to do is that's going to leave this whole side over here still up. And I noticed that either way the Valks split, I was going to have 2 air defenses up, so obviously loons were out, so hogs it was. And we'll go ahead and see how this plays out right here. There's some things that go really well, some things that don't go that well, but in the end it's enough, because I found some dead space and took advantage of a design flaw in the base, which is pretty much what you always want to do at Town Hall 10. Baby dragon down, it did its job, got those 2 buildings. Placed the king in a good spot because he's going to go exactly where I wanted him to. I popped him before he gets into that inferno range, so those barbarians will tank that inferno, and as you'll see, that allows him to make it all the way out of range of that inferno. He'll keep funneling buildings around the edge, which becomes really important later in the raid. So Valks are down, bowlers are down. Remember, those Valks got those healers on them right away because there's really no air defense. I tried to drop the bowlers to the left just a hair, so to make sure they would go in that base and not walk around after that Inferno Tower. So at this point, we had a bunch of Valks that I lost around the side there, otherwise this would have been smashed much harder. So, as I said, the bowlers, just on pure dumb luck, got that Inferno Tower on the right with a bounce, and there was plenty of Valks and bowlers in there to tank it for my queen, and she had plenty of time to get over there and take out that Inferno Tower. So at this point, you'll see right here by the queen. I've still got some Valks down here. I threw my second heal down on them right here because they're beating on some walls. And they're also tanking a lot of these defenses over here. So at this point, I throw in my hogs, trickle them in right here while these defenses are distracted to take them out. I was definitely concerned about taking out those air defenses in time so that I'd still have a healer or two left up to help kind of finish this raid. Valks get in, take out one. Hogs go in and take out the back one. Now at this point, I'm losing a lot of hogs to springs, and that's unfortunate. But when you're going up against good bases, they're gonna have the springs right where you need to hog, right on the back end away from that queen. So my last heal is late. I did not get really hardly any value at all out of that heal. If I would have moved it forward a little bit longer, I probably could have got a couple of those defenses down by the hogs. So at this point, I didn't think I had enough to get through the rest of the base. But you can't panic. You just got to kind of play it out. I still had a queen ability, I still had some Valks, and I still had a Skelly spell. So let my queen get low, pop her ability, she takes out a bunch of those defenses. At that point, the Valks get out in front, and I throw my Skelly down, not right by that wizard tower, because it'll just blast all of the Skellies right away, but I tried to put it in an area where it would tank both of those archer towers, and I definitely succeeded in that, because those point defenses wear down through my queen really fast. She's got one healer left on her, and she's coming in. She's only got 2 point defenses left. Alright, I had just enough to get through the rest of this base. At this point, it's just a cannon. The healer's gone, but the cannon can't do nothing against the level 40 queen. My queen is a boss. And there we go. 3-star Falcon raid. And Falcons aren't always going to look like this. A lot of times you're going to have a big, long queen walk with a rage. Sometimes you burn your rage and an ability on a really long queen walk just, to set up the perfect entry. Sometimes it's a very short queen walk. I've had queen walks that lasted, a total of 4 or 5 buildings, double stacked. So it was really only 7 or 8 tiles long, and it can be a timing issue, but, you got to take what the base gives you. Alright, and that's all I've got for today. I'm going to try and get some more videos in so you guys can see, different styles of Falcons, all kinds of different styles, because everyone looks different, and it's a super strong attack right now. It's definitely meta, so when you learn how to use it, you guys have already seen it, we've got Town Hall 9s using Falcon that are taking out Town Hall 10s. It's a super strong attack when it's done correctly.